Good afternoon, everyone. Just one more week preparing ourselves for a midweek game after coming back from Polokwane. Important points, like every point during the competition, but especially right now we are kicking the second half of the season, and it seems, or it looks, that the points are getting even more relevant. So we know the task, we know how difficult it's going to be, how difficult it was for us to deal with Cape Town Spurs in the first game. So we didn't forget that, and we're going to be more than ready.
Xoki, from a player's perspective, can you just give us a brief summary of the team ready ahead of this week?
Good afternoon, everyone. For us, it's more about continuity in terms of the results and the performance. Everyone is looking ready and fit, looking to Wednesday game with a positive attitude and mind frame, looking to give it our all, as any game requires at this stage of the season. So we're looking forward to the game on Wednesday.
We're now open for questions from the floor. We've got two roving mics. Please identify yourself by show of hands, as well as identifying yourself prior to asking any questions. I would also like to take this time to remind everyone that we have the Soweto Derby press conference scheduled for this Thursday. Therefore, all Soweto Derby related questions will be answered on Thursday and not today. Thank you. Are there any questions?
Done.
From Sports. We're quite aware of that, the mental juggle. Hello? The mental juggling that has to happen, coach says you have to keep the players calm, you have to keep the players' minds focused on Wednesday. And yet, even in the streets, the word is that the Soweto Derby, all of that. Coming from a match that takes you so much, physically, looking at your squad, at training, would you say that, can I have another?
Guys, I'm running the press conference, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm looking at the match that you played. It was quite a physical, texting match that you won, congratulations. But looking at now, having to face a team that actually started to taste the PSL victory at your expense, is it some sort of a more cautious approach, looking at that even players on the day might not want to go full on into this match, looking at the derby? I don't know, where are you headspace-wise? How do you juggle all of this?
Now, but you are speculating about our attitude in Wednesday's game, and I don't think it's a good thing to do. We know that when other games are coming, the expectations are high, but already start 1 month ago, so we used to. But we know that meanwhile we have to play other games that you get the same amount of points for each and every game. There's nothing extra because of the opponent that you play. And I try to be pragmatical in my approach, the players as well. We know the importance of the 3 points. We know what happened the last time we played in Orlando in front of our fans. We didn't get the result that we were looking for, and we are just waiting for the opportunity to find ourselves again in Orlando with our people and offer them a different result, a good performance again like the last time, but with a different result. And that's the only thing that occupies our minds right now. We need to still, like the captain said, collecting 3 points out of each and every game. And trust me, there's nothing else than today's training, tomorrow training, our preparation for the next match, and the next match is Cape Town Spurs. Like you said, a team that is probably in the best moment of the season for them. So even with that fact, it's even less space, less room for us to feel that it's going to be an easy game. They are coming in a good moment. They are showing that they are capable to win games in PSL, and there's no distractions. There's no space for distractions this time.
Coach,
Indonesia from DStv Times. Spurs obviously completely different team to what you faced in the first half of the season. How difficult will it be to prepare for them, considering many of the players are new players? He's also brought coaches brought a lot of youngsters into the team who are very excited. They want to make an impression. It's probably going to be a hard running game for you guys on Wednesday.
Same as 3 days ago in Polokwane. It's for us. We used to face many games like that where opponents on the day they are different than what we used to analyze, what we used to see in the other games. They come into Orlando is a special day, and we are proud of that. It says that it's a different day for the teams also when they play Pirates, and they used to approach the game with some differences than what they used to do usually, and we know it, we're ready. It happens just a few days ago in Polokwane. We faced one side that can run the whole day, same as it's going to happen with Cape Town Spurs, but we need to, as usually, we need to try, or we're going with the intention to dictate the rhythm that the game is going to be played, and this time is not going to be exceptional. Like I said, it's been a long time for us to play in Orlando again, and we're really excited to find ourselves there on Wednesday and offer the right face to our fans this time.
Next question.
Buenas tardes, coach.
Buenas tardes.
Otra vez.
Gracias, ¿cómo estás?
Sí. Coach, we've come at a time in the season whereby teams are fighting to shy away from the relegation. Others are wanting to come into the top 8, and others are wanting to chase to be in the top 3. With the resumption of the league thus far, with the performances that you've had, against Sundowns, against Polokwane, now heading into against Cape Town Spurs, are you happy with the level of performance of your players, picking up from where they left off, coming into this round in the season?
Yeah, we had two very difficult games away in Pretoria and Polokwane. We're still unbeaten at home this year. So now it's time to, like Tapelo said, to give continuity to these two results, these two performances. We start the second half of the season maybe with a bitter taste after the last result, but I think that the game we play against Stellenbosch at home was probably our best game at home during 75 minutes, and was excellent, our performance there. So we didn't finish the season, the first part of the season, that bad, but those 3 minutes changed a lot the perspective about the team. So what we are doing now is continuity again to that first part of the season. I think we were in a good moment, but with two really bad results. But now we finding the way to not concede. We conceded 1 goal in Pretoria in numerical inferiority, but the other day we were solid. We managed to keep a clean sheet, which is something crucial for us. And we want to give continuity to that. And we know the difficulty of the moment because, like you said, everybody is fighting for something. Now, in this moment of the season, the objectives are more clear for each and every team. And we know that the points are much more expensive now and from now until the end. So, again, normal preparation, fully focused in the next match, nothing else, and yeah, ready to play our first match this year in Orlando.
Good afternoon, Tapelo. Karabo from Spurs.
Tapelo.
I mean, there's a couple of big personalities in the dressing room, personalities, characters as well. How important is it, that everyone is happy in and around the dressing room? Because obviously Orlando Pirates is a big club, but as a senior player, how important is it that the dressing room, the players are happy in regards to what the club wants to achieve up until the end of the season?
Afternoon, brother. Happiness can be defined by one's perception of happiness. For us, what's important is the attitude that requires for you to be here. It's a long season. There's a lot of games. Now we're in the last part of the season. We need everyone. We need everyone in the right frame of mind. And I think we have a mature squad that understands that. For us, it's more about the team more than individuals. And everyone in the team understands that. So we try to make sure that there's harmony in the team and good harmony in that factor. But in terms of happiness, no, everyone defines happiness on their own perspective of what happiness is. So yeah.
Next question.
Coach, you're José, Vision Africa. Coach, how much did your team learn from that loss against Cape Town Spurs? And for you as a coach, how far has this group of players come since that particular loss against Cape Town Spurs?
Well, obviously, I think right now we are different teams, different sides. Them because there were many changes in the team, in the technical staff, and for us because we got a good learning process since we played that game. Not only for that game, in the end, the season is a continuous learning process for us. And if I say now that from that day we didn't improve or we didn't learn anything, imagine now. So I think, like I said, we much better. Usually for us it's about the concentration that we apply in the games more than any other thing. And if we go to the last two games, I think the team show that is capable to compete in every scenario. That is capable to be patient, like in the last game, even if we don't manage to get an early goal, to not show any symptom of anxiety or not being patient, and that's going to be key from now until the end. So nobody here is thinking that we're going to finish the game in 20 minutes on Wednesday. We know it's not going to happen. It's going to be a long game again, and it's going to demand a hard fight from our side to get the result. Same for them if they want to collect something in Orlando. So on the day, the one who's more on the game plan, more prepared, more ready, more quality also will play a big role. But the teams are in a permanent evolution. So I think we play Cape Town Spurs in October, November, somewhere there. So it's been a long time since we played that game. So the team, I have to assume, and I want to think as a coach, that right now is much better than in that moment, but it doesn't mean that is enough to be the better team on Wednesday. We have to be a good team tomorrow and Wednesday again and Thursday, Friday, every day. So for sure it's going to be a different story, but we have to work for it.
Tapelo, as players, what do you make of where you are in terms of points at this stage of the season? Surely you'd want to be, or you would have loved to be closer to the top of the table at this stage. And what keeps you going when it looks like the title race is kind of done at the moment?
As players, for us now, the most important points are Wednesday's points. We can't change the results of the previous games. We gave our all in the games. Unfortunately, we didn't get the points that we wanted. But now we can't look at that and think, oh, okay, the season is finished for us. We have to play on Wednesday, and it's a big game for us. It's 3 points that we have to make sure that we collect, and we're playing at home. It's our first game of the year at home, so we want to open the year nicely with our fans. So that's the attitude we have, and that's the focus that we have now.
Coach, Karen here from Vision View. I remember an interview some time back where you alluded to the fact that besides being a coach, you're also human and you want to give other players a chance as well. And we see the likes of Makahleni Makalulu now raising their hands, Tani Timbata as well, who you've given a shot. Talk to us about some of the new players that you've had at your camp, how they're gelling in with the squad as well, and perhaps the expectations that you have with these players.
going back to the previous answer, it is a permanent evolution in the team, and we always welcome the new faces. We try to. It's one of the difficult parts of our role, our job, to manage 30 right now. For the next game, I think we have 35 players available for selection. It's a difficult moment because all of them wants to be on the field, all of them wants to have continuity when they get the opportunity. So in the last games we have the chance to see how much the players that you mentioned can act and contribute in this team to get the objectives. But in the end, that's the key. We all have to understand that we're here to improve the history of the club. We're here to achieve the objectives together. Sometimes we are in the spotlight, sometimes not. But it doesn't mean that we are not working to make it possible. So I'm happy, like I said, with the contribution of the players that you mentioned before, at the same level that I'm happy with the ones who were already showing that they are capable to do it. I'm sure that from now till the end of the season, there's going to be other players that maybe right now they are not in that spotlight, but they will come at some point because we're still fighting for big objectives in two competitions. And like Tapelo said in the beginning, we need all of them in the right space and ready to put the right emotions that we need in the last part of the season, and when the time is and the football is asking them to participate, to put the right football on the field as well. So that's also part of our job, and we try to do our best in that side as well.
Coach.
Coach Mluleki from the Standards paper. Coach, last season, Paris were one of the teams that got the most number of points. And maybe how difficult or is it now with the expectations of the Paris supporters to actually finish as high up as second behind Sundowns to actually maintain that pressure?
How difficult?
Or easy, coach.
Or easy?
Yeah.
Or excited? It is. It's a challenge, and that's why we are in sports. That's why we decide to have this type of life that we have, and we're trying in the best of our capacities. I think last season we managed to collect 54 points in the whole season. The objective this season is improve that number, whatever it takes us to finish. But we're not playing alone. There's more teams, there's other teams with the same objectives than us, with the same passion, the same motivation, and we have to fight for it. It's not coming just because we are Orlando Pirates or whatever we did 1 year ago, or how many trophies we lift. So it's every week, it's the same story. We're playing, like I said before, to improve the history of the club, it's a topic, but it's the truth, to put a smile in our fans' face. And we have a very good opportunity from now until the end of the season to finish the season as high as possible, and finish also as far as possible in the Netbank Cup. So it's a challenge. It's not easy. It's not difficult. I don't want to say that obviously it's not easy, but that's why we are here, because it's not easy, because they choose us to get that responsibility and make it possible, and we are working hard every day, players and staff and the whole club, to make it possible. And like I told you many times, it's going to happen sooner than later.
Yes. Coach, just one question for Coach and also for Tapelo.
Coach.
Okay. Yeah. Coach, earlier you were talking about player availability. I know that you had the unfortunate situation of Melosi last week. We see he's back at training. How is he pulling? And is there any professional help that maybe you tried to help him with to go through this ordeal, and also to you, Tapelo, you had to leave Cape Town. You come from Ekasi, you know the struggles. Yourself and Mark, who was also a star here, and we see a young boy like Tumai Mutsaka being a captain of Cape Town Spurs. What does it mean to you to see that, and what would it mean to also see him leading this team to safety?
You go first.
First of all, I would like to congratulate the young man. He's done well for himself, done well to uplift the name of the township that he comes from. It's always the goal for each and every young player who comes from the townships to make sure that you take the name and improve the perception of the townships. We all know the life in the townships, how it's like in terms of crime and drugs. So when you have players coming out on such situations, it gives us a moment of prideness in terms of uplifting the township guys. For me, now I can't wish him the best on Wednesday because we need the points. For him, in terms of the future, I would like to wish him all the best going forward, because we had also people we were looked up to. As you mentioned, Mark Maimbela was one of those. So I hope he inspires the next generation also. But on Wednesday, unfortunately, we need the points.
About Melusi Buthelezi, I think what happened to Melu, it belongs to a different space than the next game. So unfortunately, there's nothing from my side to comment about that. I think it's a very sensible thing, and the club already announced or communicate an opinion and a statement, or will do it soon about the issue. What I can tell you is that he's back, he's okay, he's fit, he's in a safe space with us, and that's what we try to create. I'm not talking about security, I'm talking about mental safe or mental health. So we're trying, and especially his teammates are trying to help him to be back 100%. And as a coach, what I can tell you is that he's looking good and he's positive, and he's trying to turn the page and move forward. And we here for him and trying to help him as much and as good as possible.
From News 24. A question to Tapelo. When you look at the games against Sundowns and even Polokwane, I mean, when the team had that inconsistent spell in the first half of the season, those were games that Pirates would have dropped points in. But this season, I mean, you managed to get the point against Sundowns, and even in the Polokwane game, it looked like it was heading for a draw. The team sort of dug deep to get maximum points. What are you proudest the most in terms of how the game has been, how the team has been able to get this point when it looks like it's heading in a different direction? And second aspect is that what has helped you as a player and even as a leader to grow at this club since you've joined?
All games are different. They ask different questions and require different responses. The Polokwane City game is also such a case where the first half was not what we expected. We had to adjust and adapt, and which we did. Sundowns game was also different. So first half of the season, the games we played and the points that we dropped, we know where we went wrong and we know where we could have done better. But we don't really want to look back at that. We can only look forward in terms of the points that we need to collect. So when it comes to me personally, what has helped me to settle in the club is the players and the staff that I found in the team. Everyone is welcoming and everyone is is accommodating, and luckily for me, I found people who I've played with before, and guys that are good human beings. So it makes it easy for everyone to settle in an environment. So we try to continue with that culture, and all the new guys that come in, we make sure that we do the same for them as well.
We'll take the final 2 questions. Starting up.
Coach, you speak of squad evolution. You mentioned it, I think, 2 or 3 times now. Is the squad any better than last season's squad?
In which sense better? In terms of quality? Well, that's difficult. I mean, the players we had the last season were quality players as well. There's much more things to think about it when you recruit new players or you release some of the players in the squad. There's also age renovation. Our last game in Polokwane, I think the average age was 25 point something, which is quite low or lower than usually. There's new players and young players coming in. Introduction of DDC players as well. So I think quality, it will never be a problem. It was not a problem before. So in terms of quality, I cannot say it's better or it's inferior than the previous one. It's just different. We are following a certain criteria when we recruit new players, and I think in that sense the club was accurate in order to recruit the right players for us, and now we need to be even more competitive. I think what the previous squad did 1 year ago is something to highlight. Being a second in the league, 2 trophies, winning in 2 competitions, the best team in the second half of the season in terms of results, numbers, everything. It's also a challenge for the new, even though it's not totally new. So let's see. Still a lot of games to play, and we have the capacity and the opportunity to answer your question somehow, to say if we are a better squad than 1 year ago or 1 season ago.
Any takers on the final question? Going once, going twice, or to color?
Thank you so much, Coach, this one is to tell a little bit about I've had an opportunity to follow him quite a lot when he was still at Supersport United. Didn't really make 18-man squad, wasn't playing regularly in the DDC, probably because of his age.
Talent,
yes. Just your thoughts and synopsis of what you've seen at training and, of course, in the last couple of matches that he's played.
I don't like to speak about the individuals, and I think that I was a little bit relaxed in the last opportunities for you, because it's nothing against, but then I have to speak about all of them, because if I speak about one and now I don't say anything about Tapelo, he will feel that I don't. So like I answered before to your colleagues, I'm glad with the new weapons in the team. You should do the reflection about talent in our context, in our environment. He played his first game, official one for us, a few days ago. So we do our own analysis. If he's in the start 11 with Pirates, with the squad that we have, might be because he's something doing right during the week. It's because we see something. We are not giving the opportunities for free. But then the analysis must come from you guys. We do our own, but like I said, I like to talk about what we are doing as a collective and not what every individual is achieving week after week, because then we're talking about trends and not about. And I want to talk about the team.